All right, we'll get started with Andrew, and we'll start with Mark right up front.
How you doing?
Good.
Obviously, assuming there is a game 3 tomorrow, what excites you about the notion of the idea of getting to pitch in a do-or-die game for both teams?
I'm just extremely humbled, one, to get the opportunity to be here. Just speaks to, I think, the work that I've done this year, but it also speaks to the team and how much they trust me to go out and do my job. I wouldn't be here for those guys behind me. So, just to get that opportunity to go and try and perform for them I think it's to be honorable for me.
To your right, Andrew.
You pitched in a lot of big games. You pitched in an all-star game. Do you anticipate a playoff start will be different?
I'll try not to make it any different, really. But, there's going to be heightened pressure. There's going to be, obviously with the lineup and the guys that they have on that side, it's going to be super important to be executing, to be on top of your stuff. But you're not going to try to add any more pressure than what's already on the game. Just try to keep it simple and, just throw strikes and do what I do.
Other questions for Andrew? Yeah.
You've been around this team the entire year. How do you think they'll respond tonight, facing elimination? I know you have your backs against the wall for a couple of weeks now, but how do you think the team will respond tonight?
You said it best. We've had our backs against the wall. We've been counted out before. I think we just put our head down, do what we do, play small ball, do whatever we got to do to try to scratch across and, use the strengths that we've had this year. Just really rely on each other, rely on the pitching staff, rely on the hitters, rely on the defense, and, just let the chips fall where they may. But, I got a good feeling going in, and I know the guys are going to be ready to go, and just put your head down and go.
We'll go to Mark up front.
You guys have played here, obviously, even as recently as last month. It always seems like it's a packed house and a lot of electricity. Have you noticed, is it not that much different in a playoff game, at least the crowd-wise, because you guys have already kind of been through that a little bit?
It's always special playing here. It's always been a loud stadium. Guys are really supportive of their team, so that coming in. It is a little more heightened during the playoffs. There's a lot more noise. There, the ebbs and flow of the game. Score a run, big hit here. There's going to be a lot more energy in the crowd. But you learn over time how to navigate that kind of stuff and how to not let it affect you so bad. So, they do get loud. They are going to be behind their team, but we'll be ready to handle that.
To your right, Andrew.
I think you mentioned this after your last start, that when you asked about pitching in the playoffs, sometimes 4 or 5 innings is a long start in the playoffs. Is that the mindset you would have if you get a shot tomorrow of just trying to give this team 4 or 5 innings and then turning it over to the bullpen?
Tito, when we first got here, kind of discussed how the mindset was going to be. It's just go as hard as you can until I come take the ball from you. Don't focus on how many innings it's going to be. Don't focus on how many outs you're going to get. Just keep going as hard as you can the entire time until he decides, hey, we're going to make a move here. We're going to try to switch it up and put another guy in there.
Anything else for Andrew? All right, Andrew, thanks for your time. Appreciate it. And that concludes the pregame.